You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Hi, I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans, America's largest mortgage lender. Spring will be here soon, so if buying a new home is on your to-do list, right now is the time to call Quicken Loans. Learn about which mortgage options make sense for you and get a jump on your competition. With our exclusive Rate Shield approval, the low rate you lock today is protected for up to 90 days while you shop for your new home. With a Rate Shield approval, if rates go up, your low rate stays locked. But if rates go down, you get that new, even lower rate. Either way, you win. Talk to us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com to take advantage. Here's another great reason to work with us. For a record 9 years in a row, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. Again, to lock in today's low mortgage interest rate and get the security of our exclusive Rate Shield approval, call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com.
For J.D. Power award information, visit jdpower.com. Rate Shield approval only valid on certain 30-year fixed-rate loans. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. License in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
Hi, welcome to the Subway ad for the new Sesame Ginger Glazed Chicken Signature Wrap. How would you like it?
I'll take a...
Sports announcer at home?
Yeah, how'd you...
We just know.
My wife picks up the new Signature Wrap. It's got double the rotisserie-style chicken mixed with a sesame ginger glaze. She appears annoyed at me, but she shrugs it off. Those sweet and savory flavors are calling her name. She lifts the wrap and she takes the bite! Incredible! And now she's closing the door on my... Subway, make it what you want.
Limited time only at participating restaurants. Double meat based on average 6-inch sub.
I'm little teapot, short and stout.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
No, Dad, like this. When I get all steamed up, then I shout, tip me over and pour me out.
This is WWE superstar Roman Reigns. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Visit fatherhood.gov, brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
Thoughts of suicide may feel impossible to overcome, but with help and support, you can find hope and meaning. Call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-TALK to speak to a counselor, or visit suicidepreventionlifeline.org. It's free, it's confidential, it's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And even if it feels like it, you're not alone.
Santa baby, just slip a bourbon under the tree for me. Been an awfully good girl, Santa baby, so hurry down the chimney tonight. Santa baby, a 54 sweet cuvee, 2 sauternes. I'll wait up for you, dear Santa baby, so hurry down the chimney tonight. Think of all the booze I've missed. Think of all the bottles that I haven't clinked. Next year I could be just as good if you check off my Christmas list. Santa baby, I want some scotch, and really that's not a lot. Been an angel all year, Santa baby, so hurry down the chimney tonight. Santa honey, one little thing I really need, some mead. Warm that palate of mine, Santa baby, so hurry down the chimney tonight. Santa cutie, and fill my stocking with the French champagne. And a couple of flutes, Santa cutie, and hurry down the chimney tonight. Come and fill my Christmas bar with some decorations bought at Total Wine. I really do believe in you. Let's see if you believe in me. Santa baby forgot to mention one little thing, a sling. Prefer one in Singapore, Santa baby, so hurry down the chimney tonight. Hurry down the chimney tonight. Hurry tonight.
So, hey y'all, and Merry Christmas Eve. Welcome to a very girly Christmas episode of A Pod Divided. I am your co-host, Laura Lee, and with me is Aggie. Hello, Aggie. Merry Christmas Eve.
Merry Christmas to you too.
Oh, thank you. And I want you all to know that that wonderful, beautiful intro was Aggie herself singing her rendition of Santa Baby. So there is one of your Christmas treats for from our show to you tonight. So we're just so pleased to have y'all here. Aggie loved it. That is so fun.
I had wanted to do a different take on Santa Baby for a long time, but I'll be honest, the first time I tried doing it with guns and ammo, but I didn't know enough. So, so I wasn't doing a very good job of it. And I said, why don't I do it with something I do know about? So I turned to booze.
There you go. Well, I mean, it's Christmas. How many people turn to booze at Christmas time, you know? So I think that's just a wonderful idea. So I am all up for Aggie being one of the lead singers for the Get Bent 2020 Convention House Band that Al will be putting together for the convention. And I, of course, will want to sing back up with that. And we'll have to go from there. Yeah, Al's going to get this together for the Get Bet 2020 convention. At the rate we're going, we may have to have this in Texas because it just seems like that's kind of in the middle of everything. But we'll talk more about that as the new year rolls along. So anyway.
That would be so epic.
It would be extremely epic. Aggie, why don't you let us know? We're going to open with your drink for the night.
Okay, so apparently a lot of people are really taken with the Baby Yoda Rita that I posted earlier this evening, which is all it was is just a simple frozen margarita, right? But for the eyes, I used black cherries and then 2 lime wedges for the ears, and then I wrapped the a napkin around the stem with either, you can use jute or you can use like brown cord like I did or something like that. But I got the idea off the internet. I saw it was floating around somewhere, and they had used jalapeno slices for the eyes, but it kind of looked creepy. Mm-hmm. So, and then I saw somebody use black cherry, so I did that. So it's really cute, but it's very simple. I mean, it didn't take any extra ordinary things to do or anything like that. But tonight's girly drink is a take on an ice cream float, and it's very simple to make. It's a take on a Bellini, and you use any kind of flavor sorbet that you like. The most popular ones are mango and strawberry, even pineapple, and you put that in a wine glass because the little ball of sorbet won't fit into a flute. Mm-hmm. And then you pour champagne over it, and you have a very adult ice cream float. It's really fun. It's really good too.
That sounds really yummy and really good. And I really wish I had one right now. So anyway, so that's my girly drink with the holiday twist. That's just wonderful. And
I'm like 2 Yoderitas in right now, so forgive my cursive tongue because
that's
I may be messing
absolutely
up
fine. I haven't had anything, so I may have to go just hit some Xanax for some fun here in a little bit. But
too. Lose on her third Bloody Mary.
Lose on her third Bloody Mary. Okay. I also want y'all to know that the hat tip there to the Yoda Rita is our way of dealing with Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. I haven't seen it yet. We've got better people on this channel to talk about that than the two of us, for sure. So we will leave it to the experts and just tell y'all that we acknowledge its existence, its release, by talking about Yoderitas, because that is something we can talk about. That is something we know.
It's a good crossover. It's a good tie-in. It's a really good
excellent tie-in. Excellent tie-in. So something we also know and share that I know all y'all just are right up there with us on this is enjoying romance novels, because I know Al and Orty probably cannot get enough romance novels in their lives, and anybody else who's listening to this.
They like them bodice rippers. You know they do.
They do. They really do. So, but that said, seriously, the romance writing world is a little bit smaller and unfortunately in mourning now, because Joanna Lindsey, one of the most famous, kind of a pioneering person in romance novel writing, passed away. Oh gosh, Aggie, was it today or yesterday?
No, it has been a while. This family just released the news this like a couple of days ago or something like that. But
yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh yeah, the Amish vampire
romance
That's
novels.
a niche. That's a niche.
Yeah, that is a really good one. Yeah, I know a couple of authors in that niche. Yeah, for sure. But anyway,
or he would make a killing.
Yeah, he would. He totally would. So yeah, okay. So she's been gone forever. Sci-fi space cowboy type novels. Yes. Okay. So see, that's Al's into it too. I told you.
Which guilty. I read those too.
I need to. I need to expand my genres so that I can just, it's just good for me, for my writing. So I'll try a sci-fi space cowboy. Yeah, that'll be cool. Okay, yeah. So she actually died earlier this year, but the family just announced it. So anyway, that's sad, because she was a really good author, and Aggie and I both were talking about how we read her novels for years. So anyway, we just wish her family our condolences, and hopefully somebody will be able to step into her shoes, because she was an awesome writer. And anyway, so that's our romance novel girly off the check mark, Yeah. Okay, so we will go now from romance novels to football, because that's my life.
Yeah, that's true.
So I guess that's what happens when you're bipolar. You like stuff like football and romance novels. So anyway, bowl schedule.
I don't even have that excuse though, Lauralee. I mean,
okay. Yeah, but I do. But anyway. All right, so we are into bowl season. I don't know about y'all, but it has not been a really exciting. I don't know. I haven't looked forward to this much. There just haven't been the best pairings, but highlights from it include Kent State beating Utah State. It's the first time I think they've ever won a bowl game or something crazy like that. And they were actually here in town for the Tropical Smoothie Cafe Frisco Bowl. So that was pretty cool. That was last Friday. Washington beat Boise State last Saturday in the Mitsubishi Motors Las Vegas Bowl. Kind of a surprise, because Boise State was probably expected to win that one. I'm trying to find some other interesting ones. Liberty won the FBC Mortgage Cure Bowl over Georgia Southern. Let me tell y'all, look at Liberty. Pay attention to them. They might end up being the next Baylor, if you know what I mean. The guy that was the athletic dean or whatever, director there at Baylor when all this crazy stuff happened is now at Liberty. And this is a Christian school that's trying to make a name for itself in the NCAA. So you just never know. Now, what made me happy was that SMU made it to the Chirubusco Boca Raton Bowl, but unfortunately they lost big time to Florida Atlantic, 52-28. But it was good to see SMU in the bowl game, so that was pretty cool. Tonight, Hawaii and BYU are playing in the Hawaii Bowl, and Hawaii is leading BYU right now 21-14 in the second quarter. As I was telling Aggie, it must be so difficult to have to play in Hawaii over the Christmas holidays. So I just felt so terrible for those poor kids. So that's what we have. Obviously, we've got the minor bowls, the lesser ones going on right now. If we are able to make it and have a show next week, obviously we'll have some more exciting ones to talk about. But anyway, that's where we are with football. So we've talked about romance. We've talked about football. We have talked about Girly drink. And Jeff is here now. So, hey, Jeff. Now we can get started. We waited for you the whole time. No, I'm just kidding. But okay. Talked about romance novels, talked about the Girly drink, talked about Star Wars from our perspective, football. So now I have to tell y'all about the royal family, right? Because this wouldn't be our show without it.
Yeah,
so
it would not be a Girly thing without Anglophilia. So.
Exactly. So the family Christmas cards from the Cambridges and the Sussexes went out today, or, they've been out, but like you're seeing them on Instagram here in the last few days. Little baby Archie, who is Meghan and Harry's baby. It's really cute. He's like kind of front and center on the card. It's real cute. And then Kate and William and their darling little kiddos, they had a really cute card as well. But the really big news is that His Royal Highness Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh, who is married to Queen Elizabeth II, he was released from the hospital today, so he was able to go to Sandringham and spend Christmas with the rest of the royal family. And I read something kind of interesting, and Aggie, you've probably seen some of this stuff too. When a family member checks into the hospital, like the Queen didn't go visit him or none of the senior royals went to visit him. And that's because it causes kind of a commotion, and they don't want to stress out patients, and they don't want to, I guess, like the extra security and stuff that's involved. Yeah, so that's why they don't visit. It. So it's so easy for us, especially when we're not familiar with the royal family on a daily basis. It's easy for us to sit there and go, well, she just doesn't care. No, that's not it. They actually really have their reasons why. So that's kind of, I don't know, it's interesting. It's one of those things that you kind of know is back there, but you don't really access it all the time. So that was interesting. But good news.
I think what they do is they have a liaison between the family and, in the hospital that is allowed to go back and forth in order to report to the Queen and the family and stuff like that. And that way it limits the upheaval, I guess.
Yeah, that's a good way of saying it. Yeah,
it happens when one of our presidents has to go into the hospital as well. I mean, their family's not allowed to come in either. So it's not that they don't care. It's just that they're actually trying to be considerate of the other patients there and of the hospital workers too, because it's a big deal when it's somebody important coming in. I mean, like you said, the security, having to shut everything down and bypass everything and put up metal detectors and this and that and the other thing. It's just insane.
Yeah. So it's out of consideration for everybody else. But yeah, you're right. They have those, I think they all call them some kind of private secretary or whatever, but that liaison that goes back and forth. in the old days, they would have been considered a member of the court, I guess, if you will. But that's how they're able to hear how things are going before the public does, but at the same time maintain the privacy of the family and really the other patients there too. So anyway, so that's going on there, but they are all now at Sandringham and enjoying their Christmas too, just like I hope many of y'all will be tonight and tomorrow. Aggie, this is so strange. I've never done the traditions show on G's toxic masculinity, but this year, for the first time in a really long time, I really was like nostalgic about when I was little and we would go to my abuela's and make tamales a couple of weeks before Christmas. Then because that was just about as big as Christmas itself, and then we would eat the tamales obviously on Christmas Eve. So I don't know, I just really miss that. That was a fun time for me as a kid. And then my cousins and I and my brother, we would write skits and songs and stuff to perform on Christmas Eve. So that was kind of our rehearsal time as well. And so we would do a little show for our family on Christmas Eve and eat tamales. And it was just fun. And it's like, gosh, where did that time go? It just goes so fast.
That sounds so lovely. And, and it's funny because I've actually been to a few tamale parties. And that's what they are. They're parties. But I mean, they take all day.
Yeah, they do. They take all day.
It's not just you go in there thinking, oh, I'll be cooking for a couple hours. No.
Mm-hmm. It is an all-day affair, and there is free-flowing liquor and all kinds of crazy music, and so it's a party.
It's a big deal, but it's a lot of fun. I went with one of my girlfriends from high school. She invited me, and she actually warned me. She said, "You can say no to this, but my mom wants to know if you want to come. We're making tamales for Christmas." And I said, I've never been to a tamale party. I've heard of them, but I've never been to one. And she actually warned me like 3 times. She told me, "Are you sure? I mean, this is intense." She's just like laying it out on the line. She was really adamant that I knew what I was getting into. And it was, I think she came by and she picked me up at 6:00 in the morning. And I didn't come home till like 9:00 that night.
Oh my gosh. That is so crazy.
But
that is so crazy.
It was so much fun. It wasn't something I had ever done before because I'm Puerto Rican. I'm not a Mexican heritage. So for me, it was completely different. It was so neat learning how to make this and just the stories that her mother was saying and her grandmother and it was awesome. It really was.
Yeah.
It's an experience.
It is. And I forgot what a big deal that was about, for my family, for me growing up. So I kind of thought about that. And anyway, so that was just kind of my thing. What will you be doing here in the next 24 hours, Aggie? Anything fun?
No, not really. We're doing it low key this year, but because my parents are like, you know what, we just don't want to travel. Y'all do your own thing. We're tired. So I'm like, okay. But we used to, talking back about what we used to do when we were little, and when we were in Puerto Rico, Christmas Eve was actually bigger than Christmas Day. And Christmas Eve, we actually spent the entire day at my grandmother's house out in the country. And we would prepare a huge pig roast. And I mean, vats and vats of pigeon peas and rice and the rice pudding and this and that. And that explains a little bit of what we did, and you can find that on my Twitter feed from a couple of years ago. But Christmas Eve was always bigger than Christmas Day. And as far as gift giving, we would get a gift on Christmas Day, but the real big gift giving was on the 6th of January, which was Epiphany.
Yeah, Three
So,
Kings. Yeah.
one of the things that, my dad used to trick us with, to get us to bed early so that, the three magi would come and leave the gifts under the bed. And so one of the things that he had us do was gather grass to put in a shoebox. And I remember I told this on G's show, but one year I didn't have a shoebox. So I took one of my dad's dress shoes and filled it with muck and grass and whatever.
Oh my gosh, that is hilarious.
And it didn't hit me until way later that actually I was asleep. It was a bunk bed, and I was on the top bunk. And I heard my father cussing out when he saw the shoe. So it was years later that I figured out, oh, Dad was mad about the shoe. But yeah, so for funny. Us, it was, growing up, the big gift giving day was actually on Epiphany.
That is so cool. We are not Catholic, but we keep the tree up or the lights up till Epiphany. So, but we do, Jay's family called it Three Kings, and they would get like little, almost like more stocking stuffers and little snacks on Epiphany. So we have done that with our boys too. They get their bigger gifts on Christmas Day, but then they get a little something on Epiphany as well. And then that's when we take the tree down for good. I kind of take bits and pieces off here and there between now and the 6th. But by the 6th, it's nothing but the lights, and then we'll take it down. So that's kind of fun.
And it makes sense because the 12 days of Christmas actually start on Christmas Day, and they go through the 6th of January. So, yeah, that's a good excuse to keep the tree up.
It is. It is. I love it. So, so I appreciate that a lot. Well, this is also one of those years where Hanukkah and Christmas kind of overlap, and I think we're on the 2nd or 3rd day of it. And I was like, I personally would love to have some latkes for my Christmas dinner.
I would not mind. I'm not gonna lie. I loved going to bar mitzvahs and bat mitzvahs just for the food. I love Jewish food.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I would love to have some of those. I'm like, okay, tamales and latkes. Boy, there's a Christmas Eve dinner.
There's a.
There you have it. But anyway, we also, this was a big deal, Aggie, a very big deal for Christmas prep in our family. Both, I told you both my boys have girlfriends this year, so we did all the present buying, and then I made them wrap their presents, and we gave them out Sunday, and Noah got too shy, and so I had to give the present to the girl's mother, but the girl the girl ended up loving her present. She was thrilled with it, so that was nice. And then we went to lunch with John's girlfriend's family. So it was both families, and we had lunch, and we did it at big time. We went to the Whataburger. There you go. And
Christmas tradition, actually.
I'm telling you. So we had an adults table and the kids table, and I think she liked it. I think she told my son later that she liked her little Bath and Body Works shower gels, and he got a really cool Star Wars LED keychain with a little LED light on it. I think it was Chewbacca or something. So anyway, that went well. Operation Girlfriend Gift Drop Off. I think that was what I called it. So.
How cute.
So they had a nice little lunch date. Now, of course, the funny thing is brothers are just competitive. Siblings are just competitive. We get in the van, we're driving home from the Whataburger, and John is all excited because he has had his first quote unquote date. And Noah, my 9-year-old's like, you just had a lunch date. I took Alice to lunch, a play, and ice cream afterward. I had a proper date. So, so we were like, dang,
Well then, okay.
I know.
How do you counter that?
Yeah, I'm like, so, I think you guys are just doing great no matter what. How about that? So anyway, that was another fun little getting ready for Christmas deal. And
that is adorable. This was
oh my
this was
gosh.
what you braved Bath and Body Works during the candle.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So that was that. It was kind of nice to see it all go full circle and have a happy, gift recipient and a happy boys because these girls were pleased with their gifts and on and on. So
That is so adorable. I love that Noah was saying I had a proper date.
oh yeah,
Huge.
my 9-year-old, yeah, showing up his 12-year-old brother. There you go. So
cracking up.
so crazy. Yeah, y'all should see my life just for like a couple of hours. You'd be like, oh my gosh, no wonder she's nuts. So anyway, so Aggie, I also wanted to make sure everybody knew that our New Year's show, whether it's this or New Year's Eve or maybe the week after, whatever, I want to let everybody know that I am resolved about this Get Bent 2020 convention. We got to do something about it.
We do. There's it's now a moral imperative. It's I want it to be bigger than CPAC, okay? I want it to be
yes.
You know what I mean?
I know. Because
there are so many people you want to just tell to get bent, and they deserve it. And
exactly.
It needs to be a thing.
Well, and because we have used the term so much here in the last few months, the other day I got in a fight with Jay about who knows what, I don't remember, and I just looked at him and I said, I love you, but get bent. I just walked out of the room.
I was talking with my sister. I could not believe this came out of my mouth. I was talking with my sister, and she was telling me there was something going on with one of her coworkers or something, and I said, well, did you tell her to get bent? And there's this absolute silence. She's like, what? I was like, well, you know what I mean? Get bent, whatever. Did you tell her something like that? She's like, I've never heard you speak like that. What got into you? And I'm going, Twitter's been a bad influence on me.
Very bad influence. But that's okay because we have fun. So
yes.
Yeah. So I think I have told Al that Jay will play drums for the house band and Al can be on bass. We need a guitarist. You can sing. I'll sing backup. And because I'm a goofy little like weirdo, I want to play tambourine too. So
oh yes. Definitely we gotta have tambourine.
Well, it beats cowbell, but anyway.
We need more cowbell and more tambourine.
So we'll figure something out. Oh my gosh. Jody is so gorgeous. She could be like the go-go dancer,
Yes.
Oh my gosh, we have roles for everybody.
Everybody will have a role.
Everybody is going to take part in the Get Bent convention and the band.
I'm crying here. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So anyway, I still think if we, Lou, nothing beats cowbell. I think if we really, really tried, we could probably get Jesse Kelly to be the keynote speaker. I think he'd be
oh my word. He would have that up.
Oh yeah. That would just be so funny. So anyway.
He totally would.
I'm so sick of everything, impeachment and the fallout from that. And I just hate that we have an election coming up because people have just gotten more and more insane and more extreme that's why we need to get bent.
Yeah, and the thing is, a lot of people are just starting to tune out. They just can't take this overwhelming white noise over the whole impeachment thing and everything. And it's just, they're so bombarded with it that they're tuning it out. So,
and I admit I'm one of them. I mean, I can't tell a lie from the truth. I really can't. And because
if it were not for Stacey, I would be totally out of the loop. I will tell you,
Yes.
because I just follow everything that she says and that keeps me in the loop about it. But I don't argue it on Twitter. I just I don't even tweet
That's
out.
a really good
everything.
point. Yeah, I
It's
should
just,
probably go back and she is such an incredible writer. I need to go back and read more of her stuff because she's probably the only person I would trust right now. You know?
yeah, same.
I'm just not paying attention because I have tuned it out. It's more than I want to know. Anyway, so yeah, all the more reason why we need to get bent. And
Yep.
We can talk about that would make Stacey feel, oh, she's amazing. Stacey she amazes me. She scares the crap out of me a little bit, but like she amazes me too. Because she's just so freaking strong and she's so smart. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm a sorority girl from UT, you know?
I'm like a noob. I'm like a Jibara from the mountains of Puerto Rico, and here's Stacey with all worldly knowledge and stuff. And I'm like, I have no idea.
I'm like, so did you see Meghan Markle's latest dress? You know?
Right? And meanwhile, I'm over here, hey, I'll make you a cocktail.
Yeah.
Which, I'll be honest, she'd be all on board with that.
No, so the cocktail she could handle. Yeah, it's completely. Well, I can talk to her about football, so that's cool. That's cool. We do have that.
Yeah.
So anyway, so let's see what we can do with that, people, because that would just be too hilarious. And we are. I don't know. You have anything else you want to throw in there?
Yeah. Speaking of tuning out, I had no idea this was a thing, but there's such a thing as Whamageddon.
Yes, you had to explain this to me. Do y'all know about this?
That's how it's the phenomenon whereby you avoid listening to Wham's Last Christmas at every opportunity, and you just go through the entire Christmas season without hearing it. And if you've managed it, you have achieved Whamageddon. So I'm like, I'm kind of torn because one of our followers, she loves that song. She really does. It's her jam. But personally speaking, I would rather have my nails clipped in a Cuisinart than listen to that song again.
I have to tell you, I have been very fortunate. I have missed Whamageddon so far. And the only time I really cared about Whamageddon was when my oldest, it was his first Christmas, which was he was born in 2007. So Christmas 2007, I was pregnant with him over Christmas 2006. And so because I've always done crazy little writing here and there, I wrote Last Christmas for him. And it was Last Christmas, you gave me heartburn. The very next day, you gave me the same. This year, now that you're here, you've made the day much more special.
Well, Ordy, that's why I clicked on the link, because it did sound naughty. Okay.
I know, Ordy, stop. Whamageddon was my stripper name. Oh my gosh, Jeff. Oh my gosh, y'all are too funny. So anyway, so that was my experience with Last Christmas. But other than that, I don't care to hear it. So I'm pretty pleased.
I never had a problem with the song up until like a few years ago when I actually paid attention to the lyrics, and then I had an issue. Before, it just came in and out, and I didn't pay attention to anything. And I'm talking decades, because this stuff came out I was in high school.
I was gonna say, we were,
And so I was like, it just went in one ear out the other. I never paid attention. Then I paid attention. I was going, I hate this song. I don't like it.
I know, it's funny how that happens. So,
and the worst part is that it has a tune that easily becomes an earworm, and which is even worse. So,
which is much worse. I have to agree with you on that. So, anyway, all right. So far, we hope you all avoid Whamageddon. And I'm surprised because when I was at Bath and Body Works, I was there for so long, and they play all the crazy Christmas stuff. I am very fortunate that I missed it then, because that probably would have been my best shot. for it.
I know in shopping, I mean, Hobby Lobby doesn't normally play Wham, but I mean, I've been to Target, I've been H-E-B, I've been pretty much Walmart, everywhere has Christmas music. I never came across it. I leave my radio station on Christmas music and I never heard it. So I got lucky. I dodged it. I'm proud of myself, actually.
I am too. So, and do we have any other remaining Christmas business before our friends leave and finish drinking some more?
No, I think that was all I had, really. So.
Okay. Well, we wish producer Lou, who is just so fantastic for us, we wish her a Merry Christmas. We wish everyone in chat a Merry Christmas. We are going to continue to avoid Whamageddon by letting our outro be your special Christmas surprise, the same as your intro music, or it's going to be your outro music as well. Y'all have a wonderful Christmas. Thank you so much for listening to us. And Aggie, thank you for being such a fun co-host. You make this a blast.
Oh, thank you. And so do you. I am so blessed to have you as my friend.
It's been so much fun.
And Lou, too, Princess Lou. She's just the bestest.
Lou, she is
Merry
awesome.
Christmas to everybody. Hope y'all have a wonderful, joyous holiday and a great new year. And may you be blessed with a far better year.
Yes.
This one.
Good night, y'all. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, and here is the divine Miss Aggie.
Santa baby, just slip a birdman under the tree for me. Been an awfully good girl, Santa baby, so hurry down the chimney tonight. Santa baby, a 54 sweet Coupe, 2 Sauternes. I'll wait up for you, dear Santa baby, so hurry down the chimney tonight. Think of all the booze I've missed. Think of all the bottles that I haven't clinked. Next year I could be just as good if you check off my Christmas list. Santa baby, I want some scotch, and really that's not a lot. Been an angel all year, Santa baby, so hurry down the chimney tonight. Santa honey, one little thing I really need, some mead. Warm the palate of mine, Santa baby, so hurry down the chimney tonight. Santa cutie, and fill my stocking with the French champagne. And a couple of flutes, Santa cutie, and hurry down the chimney tonight. Come and fill my Christmas bar with some decorations bought at Total Wine. I really do believe in you. Let's see if you believe in me. Santa baby, forgot to mention one little thing, a sling. Prefer one in Singapore, Santa baby, so hurry down the chimney tonight. Hurry down the chimney tonight. Hurry tonight.